Hello, hello, everybody! Happy
그게
Valentine's Day!
드디어
Hey!
목적지를 찾은 것이오.
情人节快乐! Yeah! Hey, Kaide! Welcome in. Sea Otter! Hello, hello! I'm so heavy! Welcome in. Today, we are playing some Limbus Company. We're back here. Oh, it's not popping up. Eh? Which one is it? No, that's not it. Oh, this was a thing. What if I just, like, had this over here? And then I had, like... Wait, it's not coming up. Is it because it just updated? Oh, there it goes. Oh, shoot. No, I can't find this one. There we go. How's everyone doing today? Sacrilegious. Hi, hi. Hello. Okay, I did turn the microphone on. I'm sorry. 情人节快乐. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I'm ready. I'm ready for some Limbus Company. I forgot about this. How do I get these? I already finished this. This one I didn't do. LCF regular checkup. I'm never gonna get this done because I haven't started 7 yet. I guess we roll here. Oh, it's the Crow Comic Clan stuff. Do I want any of these? How's your day been? It's been okay. I think I hurt my back. At the gym. It's been kind of rough. But, ooh. Did you guys hear my song cover? I can hear it now? Yeah, it should be okay now. I think I did okay. Do I want the Immerse Soul one? I don't have a Immerse Soul identity, but I feel like this is a rerun, right? It's Poise. He's one of those, like, losing ones. I'm not sure if I want one. Ooh! Oh, that's just a regular 2-star one. Okay. Well, we start the next Intervallo. It's the warp train stuff. Yeah, but my day's been okay. I could have been a little bit better if I didn't hurt myself there. You guys can hear me, right? In the game sound? Yes, okay. 可以听得到我吗? Alright, how did this happen? First, we board the warp train to get to our next destination. Is this the warp train stuff? P-Corp. I got into this fancy first-class flash freeze hibernation capsule, and we were supposed to arrive at P-Corp after a quick blink of an eye, but... Dante, please respond. The first thing I saw when my vision returned was a perplexed look on Faust, who had entered hibernation at the same time as I did. Then I realized that we woke up mid-transit on the warp train, which could only mean that we're now stranded in some lost unknown dimension. I understand your considerable degree of disorientation, but what happened? Hey Firewinter, welcome in. Let's rewind and return to the very start of this highly unfavorable situation we find ourselves in. Our next destination is to the warp train, Dante. What? Yep. Come on. Let me make this smaller. There we go. That's where it all started. There, I was still perplexed by the incidents at T-Corp. Oh, hold on. Slow in this. I was still perplexed by the incidents at T-Corp, with my awful idea of clearing the air by asking Virgilius of our next destination, not knowing the storm that my innocent question would bring. Verily, I must have misheard. I'm quite certain you didn't, Quixote. We are now en route to T-Corp, warp train station. That warp train station must have some conundrum that must be resolved there, indeed. A quest that must be swiftly addressed at the station, right? Did a distortion pop up at one of the warp platforms or something? I see that you are now significantly less disinclined to take on some side jobs, but no. We are boarding the warp train to get to P-Corp, end of story. There's nothing between the lines, so don't try reading into it. It was only natural that the sinners immediately fell into a state of collective dumbfounded shock. None of the sinners have any history of working at W-Corp, but we're talking about that train. Through that vague information we could gather from the identities, we all had some fragmentary knowledge about the terrible secrets of the warp train's operations. I initially considered hiding this information from the rest of the sinners, but since sharing things with everyone and letting them get their 2 cents in usually ended up being pretty helpful, I've been sharing more of these as of late. Though I have very dim, if present at all, recollections from the time during which I was one of these identities. It can be determined from the conversational record between the manager and the identities that the mechanisms behind warp train's operations can be deemed as somewhat bizarre and inefficient. That 10-second trip that actually takes a long time, right? And when the train reaches its destination, they just wipe the passengers' memories? I also heard that the passengers get so tired and weary that they literally start ripping and tearing into one another. Sounds like I might finally find a chance to see a masterpiece with my own eyes. Even when the sinners wear their identities through my identity cards, the identity's memories or beliefs don't bleed into them once they're over and done with. I remember when Faust explained that due to the risk associated with embracing such influences, there was a filtering process to intentionally block them from reaching the sinners. That's why the sinners could use the identities of some of our worst enemies without getting infected with their philosophies and whatnot. But it also meant that they couldn't retain any new information that each identity had to offer. That's why I keep a record of some of the things that sound particularly important and sometimes share it with the rest of the sinners. My voice doesn't really carry well past the window, so most of our communications are one-sided, but I had an abundance of W Corp identities, so it wasn't difficult to piece together the truth behind the trains. But, maybe ignorance really is bliss. Your alarm response and possible incompliance have already been accounted for. Lady Faust? Then hast thou known all along, whence thou hast been not deigned to tell me of this. Hi, Magic Puppy! Are we playing a new game today or an old game? 旧的，这个是叫 Limbus Company. 我以前有玩过啊。I played this before. Am I currently live? I seriously doubt your solution involves not getting on the train, so what is it? The bus? Oh, what about this bus? There's no way this thing fits inside the train car. Sharon vetoes too. No one to feed Mephistopheles when Sharon's gone. Miss Faust. The rearmost tail cars of war trains are freight cars. That's where Mephistopheles will be safely fastened and transported. And the LCB will have the benefit of boarding as first-class passengers. The bus begins to swell with noise again, though it is initially different air to the alarm response from earlier. First-class passengers? What, the seats for those pompous tops? Even on normal trains, you got those sods with those proudest accomplishments in life, planting their butts in first-class seats, while others are cramming themselves into freight cars because they haven't the cash for even an economy ticket. Hey, don't look at me. I've never been in one of those first-class seats before either. Isn't the ticket for a single first-class seat like as expensive as 3 or 4 months of salary of a first-year wing employee? Can our budget really handle getting a ticket for all of us? The company's budget is not a subject that warrants your concern. I heard that First class passengers get some cool bonuses stuff like personalized private capsules or something, don't they? That is the promotional language, yes. There are flash freeze hibernation capsules to be precise. They have been designed to easily withstand the true amount of time it takes for the warp train to travel from point A to point B. The trip will be over in the blink of an eye for the passengers. The company's regard for our well-being is unfamiliar, yet welcome. To be provided such extravagance merely for our comfort. Such occurrence is quite seldom. Right? I honestly thought they were going to slip just the guide and chair into the first class seats and ship the rest of us the economy cars. This seems like unnecessary luxury. They should have saved their budget and given only the executive manager and their loyal advisors access to those seats. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're taking the train to get to our next mission, alright? We have to think about the unique nature of warp trains and prepare ourselves accordingly. Right? I know it's first class and all, but warp trains are just plain creepy. I knew you'd also be worried about. For example, economy passengers are going to have a hard time getting into first class cars. If they can even attempt to open it, I mean. I'm pretty sure the door separating the car is ironclad. Yo, Kana! Magic Puppy! Oh my gosh, thank you for the gifts, you guys! Whoa! Ooh. It's like a little doll. And a rose! Thank you for the rose. 488 85888 5858. Ishmael, who had been holding that first-class promotional pamphlet in their hands for a while, was chattering on with fire in her eyes. We won't even have to lift a finger. We just have to board the train, get into our capsules, shut our eyes, and snooze through the entire ride until all that mess in the other cars blows over. I heard they used to give out commemorative merch back when their finances weren't in the gutter, and... Oh, a true adventure is not without its hardships. Yet, even the most exalted of heroes cannot venture without respite. And in very rare occurrences, the hero may even deign to select a first-class seat to rest in. In a place of quaint inn, indeed, indeed. Seems like everyone was at least somewhat interested in the fabled first-class seats of warp trains. I could sense there was growing consensus among the sinners that even a warp train trip might be acceptable if it meant that they could ride in first-class seats. I will board the train if I must. Is first-class seating mandatory? I prefer the scenic route. I don't want to miss out on all the fun. Virgilius pretended to not hear Ryoshi's question. Very well, then I will assume that we are all in agreement. Let's go. I have a matter of great importance to discuss with thee. What is it? Out with the last. Beating around the bush ain't like you. That is, in the first class seats, I have heard tell that we must board with our feet freed from our boots. Doth that claim hold water? Oh, come on, what kind of nonsense gossip is coming from this time? When one of them inquired, you know you gotta go barefoot in first class, right? The other responded, of course, man. What, am I stupid? I must have been separated from Rosinate, not even for a twinkle. I shan't toss Rosinate to the side, next to such vulgarities like the ugly shoes of Sir Heathcliff. I implore thee, Resgaze. What? Yo, Kana, thank you for becoming a member again. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Hold on, hold on. This is not working. Unlock me out of my thing. Ooh. 2FA. Okay. I expected Virgilius to answer with his usual exasperated rebuff. Contrary to my expectations, however, he responded in a somewhat serious tone, if tainted by that familiar noise. Hi, Cockroach! And thank you once again, Yokana, for becoming a member, and thank you guys for the gifts as well. Happy Valentine's Day. 情人节快乐. Fine, keep your shoes on. I don't think it matters. The Northern Fixer. Fixer in the north. This place is huge. I'll let me keep this right here so I don't miss anything. That was my first impression of the warp station. Ooh, so this is... Don Quixote shouted vibrantly, immediately recovered from a previous apprehension of the sheer possibility she might be separated from her shoes. So each nest has one of these massive structures in these? I've got nothing. Oi, know anything about what they're asking? Heathcliff asked, gesturing towards Mersault with his chin. Every warp train station has been built with great general design philosophy that draws from their respective nest architectural idiosyncrasies. It can be said that with many critics in relevant fields, praise the warp train stations as one of the many cultural cornerstones of the city. I have no idea when it happened, but Heathcliff's starting to treat Mersault like a walking encyclopedia from time to time. Is that passenger over yonder from the west? Incorrect. Leather-based clothing and metal armor are predominant fashion trends, often visible in the outfits of the Western population. While that individual's cloth-based style is something ubiquitously observed throughout the population of North and South, they are largely considered to be Eastern fashion trends, rarely seen among Western. I must make a record of thy lectures. What game is this? It's called Limbus Company. Hey 48. Also, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's to you as well, K-Day. What wisdom dost thou have to impart regarding the fashion of the northern region? An opportunity for a first-hand observation stands before you. Whoa. 3 seconds of a screaming duet. One of utter fascination, the other of unmitigated frustration. You nearly blew up my eardrums. I've got an audible frequency range expansion implanted in my eardrums. Oh, it's a fixer from the north. Now get out of my way. You're blocking the walkway, like a ragtag band of hicks who've never even seen a warp train before. I take the train all the way here for an expedition, only lose my target. And now these guys are trying to blow up my eardrum. Great, just great. I love this. Is it that obvious we've never been on a warp train before? And the round-trip ticket fee came straight out of my pocket. Well, watch out, big fella. Someone might get seriously hurt if you keep swinging those 4 arms around, each holding a weapon to boot. Prithee, while thus style still hand for a moment to satisfy a few inquiries of mine regarding that outfit. Oh my god, thank you for the gifts, you guys! Cockroaches, Junyan, pants drove the masters back. Huh? Indeed, 'tis grand, the city of sundry odd personalities. I'm pretty sure he's thinking the same thing. I guess there really are a lot of people in the city with full body prosthetics. That's when Virgilia slowly walked up to our group. Well then, we'll rendezvous at the destination. With the lustrous red gaze not riding alongside of us, W Corps policy demands that fixers bestowed with a color title must board a train specially prepared for them instead. Are you like riding the first class plus or something? That's a color fixer for you, I guess. Special treatment for the wing no matter where he goes. I told you before, Sharon. 3 separate times, actually. Each time I brought you one of those candies that people aren't allowed to board the freight cars. Then Miss Faust. Yes. Virgilius, after exchanging an unknown-looking nod with Faust, escorted peeved Sharon away. Dante, let's proceed the way. We followed Faust's guidance to the entrance of our train car. Hey, our colors are starting to come back. Ooh. I always forgot that the color was gone. Those must be the fabled complimentary food and drink of the class first seats. Heck yeah. Of course quality stuff like these gotta be included with that insane pricing. The general response to this room was a surprise at the rows upon rows of expensive looking sizable capsules. Flash freeze hibernation, huh? I guess it literally freezes our bodies in a flash? Faust, are these flash freeze hibernation devices safe? Please elaborate on your exact definition of safe. These things are supposed to freeze us solid, right? Can we really come back from something like that? A flash freeze hibernation device will put you in a temporary state of death, caused by rapidly accelerated cryopreservation process. However, the rapidity of the process prevents damage to your cells during the phase change. Therefore, in most cases, this will not cause any issues. I missed about half of what you said, but the point is, it's safe, right? My hand slipped? Oh! Thank you. Yes, as far as Faust is aware, even if an issue were to arise during the journey, Because everyone will be reverted to their states at the beginning of the train trip upon arrival, there won't be any lasting complications from said problem. You've got some real talent dragging out things as simple as, yeah, it's safe, to many words seriously. Faust's talents are not limited to a single field. This still is a lot to be worried about. Just as I was wondering, however, I realized there was something odd about the way she phrased that answer. As far as Faust is aware, are you saying that it could be wrong? As a general rule, Faust is not air. However, Faust is not a divine being. There are certain informations in the world that Faust has yet to have access to. Therefore, while Faust may speak the facts, what is said may not always align with the truth. They don't call first class for nothing, I guess. P-Corp's way up there in the northernmost corner of the city. But this thing will take us there in the blink of an eye, huh? That's one hell of a time saver. Prepare thyself. Thus begins the long jaunt. Oh, I've been meaning to ask Don Quixote. Do you ever, wash those shoes? Where'd that come from, bro? No, I mean, like, think back to when we were inside that whale. When that whale blew up, we all got kinds of gross, slimy bits on us. They were on our clothes, our shoes, everything. Do you remember how we got to scrub to get... We had to scrub to get that bloody fishy flesh junk out of our clothes? This isn't something I want to revisit, but yeah. Do you remember how Don Quixote never took her shoes off once during that whole ordeal? I guess they do look a bit filthy. Can't say I've ever witnessed a knife before, though. I've been treated to premium VIP seats of similar grandiosity back when this is nothing to fuss over. You're so confident that no one's accidents have ever occurred on one of these first-class cars, right? In order to prevent cases of unnecessary anxiety and misgivings amongst the sinners, the history of accidents that has occurred aboard warp trains will not be shared. I feel like sleeping? Oh, 对，我在读. I feel like sleeping now? 我读得太慢了. Hey, Euler! Beep. Oh, I think we're leaving soon. This is for warp train PW612, bound for P-Corp. Boarding period ending soon. The sinners were either leisurely enjoying their complimentary snacks or taking a look around the first-class car. Some become a lot busier. Then let us hurry, enter our capsules before it's too late. I felt like I was the only one who was fumbling. Allow me to assist you. Faust expertly guided me into the capsule, as though she'd done something like this before. Then pressed the button inside the capsule that closed the hatch. Do not worry too much. We will meet again in a moment, Dante. I thought I heard a brief sigh, but the hatch shut tightly before I could ask her anything. Initiating warp. Please confirm that your seatbelts are firmly fastened. The last thing I saw before my capsule began to fill with gas was Faust climbing into her own capsule opposite of mine. I had no idea then what she really meant by, we will meet again, but a moment. Dante, you must wake up, Dante. One thing I knew for sure was an inconceivable situation has occurred, though something had seriously gone wrong. Oh no! Oh no! What's going on? Oh my god, this is the warp train? Happy Valentine's Day! 情人节快乐! 我的新的歌你们有听过? Did you guys hear my song cover, by the way? I'm kind of excited to hear people's opinions of it. I'm pretty proud of that one. We're here already. Wow, I guess that wasn't an exaggeration at all. It all happened in the blink of an eye. Which was complete lack of meaning, which is why I suppose it didn't immediately register that something had gone awry. No, we are not yet at our destination. When I finally came to, and after I had some time to digest that odd reply, I looked up at her face once again, and realized that her expression was more antsy than usual, by a microscopically minuscule degree. So the train is still running? Yes? Then where are we? I believe we are currently stranded in an unidentified dimension. Coordinates unknown. It took a reflexive deep breath from the sheer horror of the numerous implications stuffed into that dryly delivered sentence. When that passed, the first thing that struck in my mind was we're about to suffer the very thing that we were so worried about. I see. But I soon found myself calming down. Yeah, this had to be part of Faust's plan. She probably saw this coming from a mile away. I'm sure she's about to proudly tell me every detail of her plan that will help us out of the situation. But this is all just part of the plan, right, Faust? That was an unusually long silence from Faust. Okay. You're half correct, yet half incorrect. With that, Faust left me to flounder in the chaotic stream of vaguely terrifying information, and she began stopping by each capsule to wake the sinners. No, we're not here. No. 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 There was a brief cheer, a little hurrah, in regaining our colors, followed by a flat-toned explanation of our current predicament, which was followed by a long loaded silence, which was a sequence of events I had the pleasure of watching play on 10 consecutive occasions. Dante, I understand your confusion, however, perhaps an elaboration of our present circumstances are necessary. And that brings us to the present. Let me get this straight. This train is still running, and we're drifting through some unknown dimension? Most importantly, are you saying that you already knew that this would happen, Faust? What the hell is wrong with you? The sinners each began to voice their anger. Of course, this wasn't the first time Faust and Virgilius intentionally and knowingly omitted certain details about events in our path. What are you, insane? It's not like we can just retreat and jump out that door when stuff hits the fan. Opening the door will result in nearly immediate destruction of the physical body. But hey, Faust, at least you know what to do like always. You got a plan, right? Right? What's up with her? Lass looks totally out of it today. There must be something she can't discuss in front of the sinners. Guys, let's pause for a bit. She said something that's inconceivable has happened. The other sinner's anger was completely understandable. It also makes sense that this continued lack of communication was harming our trust in Faust. Alright, we're going over the situation from the start, okay? Besides, I doubt Faust woke us up in the middle of this trip just to spite us. First things first, I gotta get the sinners to calm down, then I'll ask Faust to tell us what happened. If there's a problem, we'll figure it out to deal with it as long as we move along. Thank you. Okay then. The gist was as follows. The cause of this issue, as always, involved a certain contract and a unilateral decision from the higher-ups of Limbus Company. W Corp caught wind of Limbus Company's recent distortion contract management promotion. Ooh. I just woke up, but now I'm almost falling asleep again. 我读太多了，你们要不要玩一个另外一种的游戏的？那这个我读完了，我们可不可以？你要不要开始玩那个 Marvel Rivals? I listened to the new song. It's nice. I'm glad you like it. And decided to contract us to deal with the mysterious repeated series incidents suspected of having been caused by distortion. After multiple failed attempts to resolve it on their own, of course. Distortion themselves likely did not pose a problem for W Corp. Based on the available information, it can be determined that they have all been neutralized as soon as the train has arrived, and any transformed passengers would have been reverted to their human forms. But the real issue is that the passengers were disappearing. Passengers spirited away? Alas, such an impossibility aboard these trains, is it not? You're still thinking about Marvel. What? I don't want to put you guys to sleep. You guys just woke up. 你们刚起来，我不要现在去睡觉。That's the question for when we must discover the precise cause and effect of. Did W Corp share anything for us to get started? That appears to be the most prominent cause of this misunderstanding. She explained that W Corp refused to share anything about the trains because they were concerned about maintaining the secrets of their singularity. Maybe that's exactly why they sought an upstart business like Limbus Company to deal with this. Now that I think about it, we wouldn't even know where to start if we had access to the information that identity cards had to offer. Faust produced what appeared to be a key card within W Corp logo on it before continuing with our explanations. However, we were given this master keycard that can open and close the hibernation capsules at will. We may return to our respective castles as soon as the contract is fulfilled and safely complete the rest of the journey as we had planned from the beginning. Those bloody wings. Every single one of them is absolutely Barney. I think it's been unkind of them to ask us to finish the puzzle without all the important pieces. At least T-Corp, their chief executive director, tagged along as our assistant, not to mention kindly explaining so many new things to us. It sounded like Miss Faust was stuck between a rock and a hard place herself. I would appreciate it if you at least gave us a hint. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not like there's something out there monitoring our every move and every word, right? Next time, I will take your inputs into account. She is Faust after all. I'm sure she has backup plans on backup plans to get us out of the situation. So what's next on our agenda? Yeah, what's done is done, right? Besides, it's not like we gotta rot away for thousands of years inside this metal box. That is something I must first discuss with Dante. We must converse in a lower volume, Dante. What? Why are we whispering? Why Why are we whispering? Her secretive attitude only exacerbated my already battered sense of safety. My connection to Faust, has been severed. I'm sorry, what? I cannot access Faust's knowledge at the moment. I guess I was right to be anxious. Oh. Oh, we're in danger. Oh, there's a fight here. Wait, do we have another ID? I think it was Gregor, right? I kind of want to try the Priest of La Mancha Land. I want a La Mancha Land team.
원하신다면.
와, 기대되네요.
투입이군요.
망치를 쥐고
불청객을 맞이할 시간인가 보군요.
Okay, so it's gonna be 1,
이 소리는 폭풍이
2, 3, 4,
말뚝을 쑤셔 넣어주죠.
자,
5.
해골 바가지랑 거미 시간 체납자인가? 준비 되었어요.
This is 6.
전가요? 시간 체납자인가? 시계 챙기고 시간 체납.
불청.
투입이군요.
와,
앞장서시오. 오늘도 부디.
Okay, this is gonna be
정신을
interesting. I've imagined this too, otherwise I would have passed the CET4 and the CET6. If my English teacher is Hikaru, my English grades are definitely much better than they are. Yippee! What do you mean you can't? I mean in the most literal sense. My access to the Faust's input and information, which has always been readily available, is completely severed. Oh? What if everything about the situation is something you don't have access to yet, like you said last time? One cannot completely dismiss that possibility, but even that is uncertain. Every answer Faust has given me is always full of coincidences and methodical expertise. I don't think she's ever said a sentence that was full of speculation and doubt. Then Faust, you are... At this moment, I am limited to operating only within my knowledge. I cannot discern the cause of this disconnection. More than enough precautions have likely been taken in case of interdimensional travel, but perhaps Faust did not take into account an occasion in which we may have to access an unidentified dimension such as this, or even if it was taken into account, this particular dimension may not have yet been subject to cross-observation. If that is not the case, then No, never mind. There was nothing that suggested that my connection to Faust would be lost, not even as we boarded the train, to be honest. This is a rather disagreeable situation for me. Oh, when Faust told me not to worry too much. Okay, this is just a minor setback. Nothing we can't beat, right? We got this. As the manager, my job is to calm everyone down and set sights on the future, just as Faust did for me immediately before the hatch closed. If you're right about why we're disconnected, then that problem will solve itself once we're off the train. And if we ever run out of options, I'll just turn the clock and see what happens. Don't stress yourself too much. We still have a lot to work with. Your knowledge, my clock, the sinners, and I could feel the confidence taking a hit with every word that came out of my metaphorical mouth. But that seemed to be enough for Faust. She nodded. Understood. And to the sinners, the fact that we are currently confined to a warp train operation must be a source of enough stress. I believe that sharing Faust's current state with them would add an unnecessary source of tension. What, so wrecking the door ain't gonna do anything? We're all gonna bite it once it opens? How many times do I have to tell you that you're not even strong enough to break the door down? A billion years in the box. Approximately 3 days have passed since our departure. As per the contract between Limbs Company and W Corp, I acquired the master keycard placed inside my capsule and adjusted the hatch settings to automatically open in 3 days. 3 days, huh? I feel like I just blinked. I guess that's hibernation for you. As you were all informed prior to boarding, there's no way for the economy class passengers to enter the first class car. That's why this place has remained untouched. I just took a nap and I feel much better now. Oh, that's great to hear. I'm glad. Hi, Barbie. However, cross-referencing my own deductions and W Corp's rather fragmentary explanations, I can assume that the situation is currently under progress in the economy class cars. The part where they thrash the poop out of one another, tearing their limbs off, all that mess. No, I doubt that. I don't think it gets bad in just 3 days. Besides, that's supposed to be business as usual for W Corp, right? There must be something else that's out of the ordinary that they want us to deal with. Just as Faust was about to continue, dost thou hear as I do? It's possible that there must be... Lady Faust? Please step aside for a moment, Don Quixote. I think it would be best if I observed it with my own eyes. She produced a master keycard from her pocket and approached the panel installed next to the door. I intend to follow the usual flavor of suggestion, Heathcliff. That there are times in which the physical altercation is preferable to detached ruminations. Huh? My suggestion? Well, I ain't gonna disagree with you there, but what's gotten into you, lass? After all, how could I do say anything without seeing it myself? After a brief mechanical beat, hideous creatures suddenly crashed through the door and charged wildly in our direction. What the heck? So this is the warp train. 我刚开始玩的这个游戏的时候是像这样子的。哦，
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저거 다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는
배가
놈들이니까.
딱 떼도 좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 찾았네. 그러니까 이건 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
luckily these things aren't very strong.
저 죽어라.
I wonder why the chain battle makes it so much longer though.
뭐 부족해
이런 건
찾아서
몽둥이가 약이지. 그로 두드려 패.
요지하니까
Let's do a counter here to evolve him.
목을 내놓고 있도록.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
So that's the La Mancha Land ID.
찢어 발겨주마. 무쳐 잠들어.
직원들이 우세한 환경에 있습니다. 관리자님이 제 말을 집중해서 듣고 있었다는 결과겠죠. 이런 과정들을 통틀어 신뢰라고 부른다고
That was too
하더군요.
easy to need 12 people
긍정적인
for.
변화네요.
That's kind of interesting. I don't know if they were expecting us to lose that. Lady Faust, however similar in my appearance they must have been the passengers, though they were complete want of sense, like people politified by the whale. Normally, Faust would have told them more information about these monsters before the fight began. She would have been burdened by the sheer thought of bringing harm to the innocent. You appear particularly inquisitive today, Miss Faust. Yeah, aren't you usually the one who has all the answers? We're racking our brains trying to come up with something? The sinners were starting to feel there's something off about Faust's behavior. They might have even soon realized there's something wrong with Faust. Don Quixote, they're not dead. Observe closer. The parts are all tethered to one another by something, are they not? It appears that the flow of time has ceased in this space. Therefore, it follows that the connections that tether the bodies of life and away from death remain intact. To my relief, Faust managed to correctly figure out what's going on like her usual self, even if it took her slightly longer than it usually does. What was that about? Oh, nothing. The flow of time has ceased aboard the war train then, is it? Yi-Sang grew pensive. Seeing that, Faust's lips parted for a moment before closing shut. I was starting to get a good read of her expressions. That was an unmistakable look of regret, however short-lived. Howbeit, would it not be more accurate to muse that the flow of time has decelerated to the point where, to an extra-dimensional observer, it has slowed to a stop? What is your perspective regarding this suggestion? Yes, that's the most rational suggestion, Yi-Sang. It's really annoying. I have to cook again later. Aw. Yawning's contagious through the internet? Yeah, I did just yawn there. Oh, thank you for the gifts, Yokana. And Barbie as well. Hi, Moyi! 早上好. I unblocked. This guy with the clock in his head is easily shy. He's funny. Yi-Sang Trier is a time expert. Can you summarize it in easier language? Gladly, if you would allow me. That was close. To speak in brevity, it can be said that death is not an element aboard this train. And can you maybe speak with less brevity? To elaborate, this one's hearts beat still. Their state is akin to an unassembled jigsaw puzzle, merely immobilized and separated. Though their corpus has been sundered, the concept of death is a state of, for all intents and purposes, eternal delay aboard this train, existence and continued of morarium. Forced they are, to be tethered upon the thinnest yet tenacious thread of life. If their severed parts are all connected, then it can be said that no matter how entangled their bodies become, it is not impossible to eventually gather their parts together to form a single passenger. Thus, naturally, we can determine how and why the profession W Corp cleanup agent has become to be. I see. Because someone will have to categorize and reconstruct these puzzles once the journey is over. It's really baffling to me that a job like that even exists. Ever seen a wing that wasn't baffling in every sense of the word? Still, I guess it means that as long as the train arrives at the station, they'll all be put back together like nothing happened. From what I learned through the W Corp identities, their main job was to gather chunks of flesh together to bring them back to their original shapes before they boarded the trains. It's a lot more visceral when I take a look at it in person. Phew, that's quite the auspicious news amongst ill tidings indeed. It soon clicked in me what Faust was, though with some sort of awkward effort, trying to watch as I watched Don Quixote sigh with relief. Maybe Faust was trying to cheer Don Quixote up in their own way. Dante. I intend to collect further intelligence. Are they distortions or abnormalities? They weren't humans, that's for sure. From them, I felt the same sensations I felt from monsters. Something inexplicable and unclear sensation or aura. If I had to lean one way or the other, I say they're closer to distortions. I'm sorry, I don't think they're either of those. Is it difficult to be certain at the moment? Again, I'm not sure how I can explain this, but they're very, very similar to distortions, but also different. If you had to ask, then I'm gonna guess Faust doesn't know. Faust may know, but at this point, have no way of knowing. Though the information you have provided me is rather ambiguous, it's helped me to do something of worth. In collecting intelligence myself and creating deductions based on sparse information, it's quite... She just smiled to herself with gore in her hands. Oh, this is where W Corp cleanup agent Faust comes from.
끝인가? 정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면 어째서
This is multi-crack office.
끝나지?
I did get a multi-crack office Faust. But which one is that? This is the one who grips Faust. I only play her because I have the one who shall grip. But I also have another ID. Hold on. Let me see if I can collect the things. What do I have to do for the LCR? First time stage events, dungeon clears, and mirror dungeon clears. Oh, okay, I just have to do mirror dungeons. Alright, do we run a 10? Arbor Blossom. This one's pretty cool. I don't know if it's burn. I want the La Mancha Land characters. Pro Coma Clan Captain. Well, this is also Bleed, actually. That's kind of cool. La Mancha Land Barber. So many things. How do you get her to evolve, though? Do I want Blade Lineage, though? It's Ishmael and Mersol. I don't really know if I care for Blade Lineage. And this one's Kurokama Ishmael. So it's Ishmael. I don't really know if I want this. No. I don't really like the poise ones. I'll just save it. So let's figure out what the multi-crack office is. You open the door to the next cabin, only regretting the locomotion. Passengers in danger. Worry not. Whoa, whoa, don't come any closer. Who are you guys? A four-armed woman suddenly jumped in our path. She appeared without warning. That's the multi-crack officer. Oh, okay. I'll play the fifth one later. Right, like you guys gave me any warning before you practically kicked that door open. Would you mind moving that huge sword out of our faces? It's a bit threatening. Threatening? I'm just trying to protect those civilians in this car. Also, is that a bioprosthetic? You must be an old-timer, huh? I thought those things went out of style forever ago. Oh, you want to see this old-timer got left in them? This is northern garb. Anyways, it looks like we're in the same mess here. Make way for us, yeah? She seemed to be sizing us up for a moment. How do I trust you? Got any proof that you ain't bitten? I'm not gonna let all my effort protecting this go to waste. Bitten? What are you talking about? Weird. You look completely lost. If you were in one of the economy cars I'm sure you've seen. Hold on. Are y'all from the first class car? Yeah, we just woke up from our capsules. But none of you look very... I mean, aren't first class seats supposed to be... Well, why didn't you say that so from the get-go? Name's Sasha, multi-crack officer rep. With that, she lowered her weapons and allowed us to pass. Have you not left this car for the duration of the ride, Sasha? No, I haven't. The warp over the T-Corp Express. After picking up one of their contracts, but geez, can you believe that this train broke down? It didn't even broke it. I'm not feeling hungry or sleepy at all. It stinks of some shady stuff, if you ask me. You can feel that even in a prosthetic body? Man, how could I live without my favorite hobby, drifting into a sweet nap after a pleasant meal? So I made sure to get high quality parts for him so I can still feel hungry and sleepy. Hasn't something else of note also occurred? You bet your butt did something else of note go down. How distracting. Is it hard for you to speak without getting so hyper? Or at least stop swinging your arms around like that. Can't do that, friend. I broke all my prosthetic arms in a fight, so I'm calibrating a new set. Gotta keep swinging them if I want to sync them up with the other parts anytime soon. Anywho, I don't know what the hell's going on, but people start turning into some weird monsters all of a sudden. Haven't a clue who they are. Don't seem like they can understand us either. Good thing my train car didn't have a lot of those monsters. I just chopped what monsters there were to pieces and hauled civilians to a vacant car. 3201 red colors, 3202 red colors. You have decided to protect them despite the potential risks they may transform as well. But of course, 'tis expected to do us than any valorous fixer. I've been keeping a close eye on them for the last 3 days, and so far, 0 transformations. Go past this car and you'll see what the hell that on earth that really means. Those monsters are constantly trying to claw their way into the front of the train. So if you ask me, I wager that some sort of thing went down there at one of the train cars in the back, and it spread like wildfire till it reached here. I see. And that's all you can tell about the situation. So what's your story? Why'd you rich first-class folks suddenly decide to grace us peasants with your presence? Nothing that's happening here could have made it your swanky first-class cars, so what's your business down here? W Corp has hired us to solve the case. We are... fixers. We're fixers. That's true. Hi, Moonlight! 情人节快乐! Yes, it's prison bus. 是英文的. They got every single one of you first class cards tickets? Wait a second, so W Cup already knew that this would happen? Are you really contracted to a wing? Not sure if I trust you. As you must be well aware yourself, contracts and contract fulfillment are paramount importance of fixers. With that in mind, please recall that W Corp is one of the most secretive wings in the city. A non-disclosure agreement, huh? Makes sense. I wouldn't want to deal with those weefy boys either. Anyways, I'm still going to have to ask for proof that you're actually contracted with W Corp. This is the Master Key Corp card given to us by W Corp. I believe that I can open most doors aboard this train. Faust produced a Master Key card from her pocket. I guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we're actually contracted. A key card? So you use this to open the pathway between the first class and economy class card. Let's see, W Corp logo? Whoa, nice materials. Looks like you're telling the truth. Alright, I won't pry. Not like there's any cash in it for me either. So I guess you're gonna go all the way down there for your job, huh? Yes, the fixers finally got out of our way. Then with one of her hands free, pointing towards the opposite door. Well, it's your funeral, ladies and gents. Or your victory lap. If you guys are really that good luck to you all. I think these are the words, Fixer Sasha. She just seems cool. Big sis, are you a fixer? Are you gonna save us from the monsters in the car? Oh. It's fortunate that someone like yourself is aboard the train. Your presence has ensured that child's survival. I'm just here to collect some sweet, sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. Are you two on something or what? I don't think Don Quixote needs to hear what you just said. True. You knew there was no way the Fixer was actually going there to protect him out of pure goodwill, but you decided to go along with Don Quixote's delusions, am I right? Eyes. I have one last thing to inquire. It'll be 30k on per inquiry. That's quite an unsound decision to make for someone who claims to be in the same line of work for us. Have you considered the possibility that once our contract's successfully completed, we could include references to a particularly cooperative associate office and our report to W-Corp? Whoa, are you serious? Actually good. I guess the Chinese language score is not even 30 points. Huh? 怎么是? You live by the sea, why are you so nosy? Huh? 啊，我不知道你们在讲什么。Well then, let me hear it. Were the eyes of the monsters you faced red by any chance? I don't know, those monsters were red all over. But is something there special about the red eye color? My prosthetic eye is red. The passengers over there got red eyes. And oh, you there, that lady with the big sword also got red eyes. What is something out there paying info on red eyes or something? No, well, it was a question of no significance. It was just as I feared. The scene that appeared before us looked like it came straight out of a painting of hell. Ugh. It's multi-crack Sasha. I think it's meant to be level 40 for everybody on average, but because we're already all 50. Uh-oh. What happened here? No, we don't need to transform just yet. Yo, what the heck, Lens? Is there a housekeeper? Still okay, play your game? Okay! An unknown creature came in. Yeah, I guess. Funny curry. What? Oh, Fearless isn't here.
대부분의 관리자들은 이 타이밍에서 결정적인 일격을 지시하고 있죠.
내 뒤로.
Now we can use the counter.
거기까지. 이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 이명을 질러. 두드려 패. 그래. 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까.
Oh yeah, this should be pretty quick. Yes, sir.
생각하지 말고 저 새끼 무슨 마음만 생각해. 그럼 공격이 더 매서워지거든.
내 죄는 내가 알아서 처리한다.
여기서 맞는 거야.
Yeah, these go by really fast because I'm super over leveled.
끝인가? 정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나?
I'm late? Oh, welcome in, Dongrun.
흥미로운 일이 벌어지면 좋겠어요.
We're on the warp train. Ooh.
주인님이 도착하기 전까지 끝내보자. 벽난로에 불도 지피고 음식도 준비하고.
Is the La Mancha Land people supposed to be like... hey, Floating Summer. 짜자. Is La Mancha Land Gregor supposed to be like... Oh shoot, I forgot to swap with him. Oh, that's why he's losing. I forgot to turn it on. No, I forgot. It's okay. I don't really need Gregor.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 두드려 패.
생체 반응이 끊어진 개체의 기록이 감지됩니다.
Oh, so dramatic.
만약 제가 인간이었고 조금 더 쾌활한 성격이었다면 당신과 하이파이브 같은 걸 시도해보았을지도 모르겠네요. 무지하니까. 좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이제
Oh
나
yeah,
가을
Gregor's
계획을
not gonna be any healthier. It's okay.
무지하니까.
그 오물 가져가라.
Ooh. Good thing this is mostly just autos. I don't know, for an Intervallo, I feel like it should be harder. The T-Corp stuff is... No, I think the Blade lineage stuff was like oddly difficult.
대가리.
기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지
Not
않아요.
difficult, but like you had to beat that one.
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Let him speak for himself. Okay.
내 죄는 내가 알아서
SHSF.
해.
I don't know what that means. Collecting blood. Okay, if I lose Gregor, it's kind of whatever.
거기 왜 안에 갇혀 죽어라. 너희에게 안식은 없다.
Oh, it gave him the
내놓고
thing.
있도록.
That's cool. I don't get to see the coffin. I don't get to see the coffin too often. It's neat though. Battling in a narrow hallway really takes a lot out of you. Too bad. Making big movements when there's not a lot of room around, and it takes more energy than you think, especially for people like us who use longer weapons. These enemies weren't harder than the ones we fought earlier, but it was inevitable that their sheer numbers would eventually wear down the sinners. I've been wondering that too. Why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden? Those entities are... What do you think those entities are? Are you giving us some chance to come up with our own answers first? There were some things I learned after fighting them, I think. These monsters aren't mad at us, nor do they want to attack us because we're an obstacle. That's right. I thought hunger or thirst wasn't a thing aboard these trains. It could be determined from these entities' attack patterns that their offensive were not based on rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be traced back to primal aggressiveness. Yes, and was there anything else? They all had red eyes, their bodies wreathed in blankets red. I smell blood, so that's likely what they're made of. Then it must be red was congealed, nay crystallized blood. Thank you all. Your input has been very helpful. What did you learn from that? We're in luck, Dante. I read upon this subject as a tangent while pursuing information regarding our next destination, moments before we board the train, and while that might be a useful element in resolving the situations, the sinners have also been a very good source of intelligence when it came to categorizing and identifying important evidence from the available sea of information. Your advice was correct, Dante. Nothing can be said with absolute certainty at the moment. However, this will be a good place for us to start. With that, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners. I will now present before you a solution to this predicament. Oh, it's fine, don't worry. Okay. That will not change, no. However, what I'm about to share will give you a better understanding of the purpose behind Deadly Corpse Contract. Provide us with the possible means of finding the method by which we complete it. It's very likely that the entity behind the incident on this train, and by extension every incident of the same nature that has occurred in previous warp train trips, is the Blood Fiend.
끝인가? 정말 한 톨도 남지.
Alright, we don't need him.
금방 가지.
파우스트가 나설 만한 곳이어야 할 겁니다.
I guess they were just taking stuff to it. A Blood Fiend? Thought you were an expert on obscure lore. I have been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past when I've serving commanding officer, and I've seen the dregs that they command. Though my memory isn't very clear, I'm quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. I've seen one who called themselves a blood fiend among the ranks of the fingers, but the things that blood fiends commanded weren't like these rubber textured ones. There's something off about this one. That one didn't spawn these dregs with abandon like this. But aren't you supposed to know this already? Yes, I see that some sinners have encountered blood fiends in the past. A long-winded explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you have stated thus far, the entities we face in this train do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are dreg-like beings that have failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as blood bags amongst relevant parties, according to information I'm aware of. Why would anyone name someone blood bags? As has been said prior, it's impossible for passengers to disappear aboard warp trains under normal circumstances. Though our reserve of intelligence regarding warp trains or W Corps is vast, if incomplete, we could not find a possible exception to the above rule. Within that reserve of intelligence, however, I discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulations of a new hypothesis. I'm saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? A more accurate descriptor would be to say that they are either dissolved or vaporized. Dissolved. No matter the degree of violence the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, the warp train can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. Among several interpretations of the word violence involves cannibalizations, of course. Yes, it's called prison bus in Chinese. However, as the passenger's collective time itself is in more random in this duration of the train's operation, digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even the devoured passengers could be reconstructed. Even if we were to be stuffed into the digestive tract, then I suppose they could gut the passengers to retrieve the chewed up chunks of other passengers and piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. However, such is not true for blood bags. Blood bags are by their natures obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges on supplying themselves with the blood of their victims, and it is said that they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their forms. Didn't you say digestion was impossible? If I were to continue my deductions, perhaps consumption of blood for blood fiends and blood bags are fundamentally different processes from consumptions of nutrients and energy. To them, blood is a culmination and entailment of something that forms the self, including, but not limited to, emotions, ambitions, wealth, purpose of existence. They must naturally flow that they can spend their blood at will, which is process isolation from biological processes such as digestion. You exist in majority of time at the present moment, Heathcliff, yet your emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy, they continue to spark within you. Well, I guess they are. Though we cannot tell whether they may be in a state of alteration, or whether they remain ensnared in the wheel of creation and destruction. It can be said that emotions once past exist not in continuation. The passenger's will to live, the worth of this very existence in which they thrive, do they not all gently atrophy into non-existence, even amidst the ceased time? Miss Faust seeks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to blood fiends. Gotcha, so that's why she said their blood is vaporized, huh? If that's the case, then the very blood that's supposed to bind these chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means they can't be pieced back together. There's no incongruence in that logic. Everyone fell silent for a moment. Ooh. Hey, honey! How's it going? My mouth is already dry. We'll do it. I read a lot, dude. Sorry, I haven't been watching much. My friend invited me to play IDB. Ooh, good luck. It's the rank session right now, so I understand. That's why way too much information is processed at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either. I'd like to ask a few questions if you will permit me. Could it be that said that blood bags are direct creations of blood fiends? If such is the case, then by which method do they? That information is inaccessible at the moment. There isn't anything I can do about this. The sinners will only be more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust. Inaccessible. Ah, indeed. Now I recall what you have said in the past. This is only a speculation, however. I assume that form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a blood bag. If such were not the case, then we were likely the greatest obstacles to the entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first ones to be turned. In that case, that villain of a blood fiend must be hiding out somewhere aboard this train. Indeed, if we were to believe that the words of the fixers earlier, then there is a highly likelihood that the horde of advancing in this direction from the back of the train. In other words, continuing down this train card will lead straight to the blood fiend. Dante. It seems that Don Quixote was now invigorated. The other sinners also seemed satisfied now that we had a clearer sight of our goal. Faust, who seemed to miss them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
주인님이 도착하기 전까지 끝내보자. 벽난로에 불도 지피고 음식도 준비하고 만찬 준비를 해야 하니까.
I should just be able to win all these, like, pretty easily. Let's see if we can spend all of our Enkephalin.
생체 반응이 끊어진 개체의 기록이 감지됩니다. 만약 제가 인간이었고 조금 더 쾌활한 성격이었다면 당신과 하이파이브 같은 걸
Hi Fearless, how are you doing? 早上好.
당신은군요.
Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. 情人节快乐.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말다리 쉽게 하지 않아요.
Who's my bleed guy?
내볼 차례겠지? 우리가 우세한 상황이야.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
그렇다고 비스킷을 꺼내 먹으면서 싸우라는 얘기는 아니었는데. 무지하니까.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그릇 두드려 패.
Come to rescue you. Thank you, Fearless. Thank you.
부족했지만 내 죄는 내가
red
알아서
eyes.
처리한다.
직원들이 우세한 환경에 있습니다.
He reverted right away.
집중해서 듣고 있었다는 결과겠죠. 이런 과정들을 통틀어 신뢰라고 부른다고 하더군요.
昨天我拍一个那个小的
소란이 줄었네요.
这个乐器的东西在我的脚上，是我开的太久的时候，我太热了，我没有开的时候我太冷。If I turn it on, it's too hot. If I don't turn it on, it's too cold. What am I gonna do? You're in Korea now? Whoa, that's so cool. You know, I've never actually been to Korea before. I went to Incheon one time for a layover, but I didn't actually stay there.
끝인가? 정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나?
목적지는 호기만소.
Yeah, it's averaging kind of weird. Not the averages.
대부분 분야에서 저는 최고의 성능을 내는 AI지만 응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다. 공간의 영역은 잘 쓰지 않았던 기능이라 일단 먼지를 털어내야 하거든요.
You sound Cali? Cali just.
이런 건 몽둥이가
Please
약이지.
don't ask me this or like what happened to the person. I don't know. I don't know. Things are what they are.
직접 알게.
We're doing well though.
왜 안에 갇혀
좋아! 알맞게 먼지 덩어리 털어냈네. 자, 밤을 내볼 차례겠지?
무지하니까
Oh no!
계속해봐라. 입 찾아들 때까지.
I hate it when that happens.
직접 알게 한.
It staggered him too.
효율적인
California? No, I don't sound like I'm from California at all. Have you guys heard a California accent?
쉽게 하지 않아요.
I don't know how to do it. Like, oh my god, bro. I don't know. Oh my god. Like, they sound like that. I don't sound Californian at all. I'm from the East Coast. I'm very, very far from California. It's like a 5-hour plane
우리가
ride.
우세한 상황이야. 그렇다고 비스킷을 꺼내 먹으면서 싸우라는 얘기는 아니었는데.
그 오늘을 떼어내주지.
다 죽어라.
직원들이 우세한 환경에 있습니다. 관리자님은
제정신이랍니다.
제 말을 집중해서 듣고 있었다는 결과가
I wish I had
이런
double
과정들을
equip stuff, but I do
통틀어
have multi
신뢰라고 부른다고 하더군요. 긍정적인 변화네요.
지금이다. 해골 바가지 거미 대가리.
Ooh, 109. A double skullbuster? Oh, he's doomed.
좋아.
Yeah, it's just
전투에
dead.
임하겠습니다.
I don't sound Californian though. I have friends who are from California, so I know what they sound like. No, stay away from me, you farm, you monsters. Oh, he's from the cleanup corpse. We're not those monsters. Are you alright? Huh? That arm, you're starting to mutate too, aren't you? You must be turning into some bug-like monster. No, this is... Gregor stumbled forward before chuckling. Let's leave. Yeah, no surprise there. I suppose there's no way to tell whether this arm's a monster or prosthetic or what. That's a relief. I thought those crazy bastards were trying to break in again. As you can see, my legs and arms are messed up. I had no choice but to hide here. So what are the W-Clip employees doing aboard this train? You're right, from what we found out about warp trains through their identities, I can't imagine any of them would willingly board this train. You're the contract fixers, right? We were ordered to assist you with your contracts. I said we, but I'm the only one left. Every single one of my colleagues suddenly began losing their minds in that car over there. This cannot be, Faust. Is there truly no where to cure blood bags? My apologies. The access to that information is prohibited at this moment as well. Through her voice and expression were both serene as always, there was something gloomy about the way she said it. I may have been too reliant on Faust in too many places. Faust muttered in barely audible volume. I don't know what I can do to help the sinners in a situation like this either. I'd also grown too used to Faust's omniscience because I could always trust it to be there for me. I was starting to realize that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. No, maybe I was too reliant on the sinners as a whole. If when the time comes to need to depend on me and they no longer can stand on their own, can I really manage them? Lead them to the right answers? Doubt colored with fear begins to arise like the ominous plumes of smoke. Well, what can I do, right? Arg. The agent struggled to the corner of the room with his wounded leg and pulled on the lever. They made good use of the space, and the wall behind them initially appeared to be a folding chair for employees spun open. What in the name of wings is this, perchance? I have a weapon? That holds some resemblance to a capsule we saw in the first class car. But why would that thing be here? The cleanup agent slumped into the pod that appeared into the wall. W Corp prepared a small hibernation pod for employees in case of these emergencies. Good luck with the rest of the mission. He's gone. There he goes. Oh, whoa. He's just gone. Hi, Cuckoo Mama. 早上好.
당연한 결과죠.
Dang, he just kind of left.
선택. 와일드 헌트야.
We clean up these cars. Car cleanup.
자자, 대열 정비하고 식기들은
전투에
윤활 정도 잘
임하겠습니다.
갈렸는지 다시 확인하고 복장은 구김 없는지 체크하고 이제 대청소를 시작해볼까?
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
자자, 대열 정비하고
전투에
식기들은 윤활
임하겠습니다.
정도로 잘 갈렸는지 다시 확인하고 복장은 구김 없는지
I gotta give her Nellie's voice.
물론
Thanks for the stream. Alright, see you later, Kaide. If you're going, that is.
무지하니까
직접 놓아주마. 다 죽어라. 목을 내놓고 있도록.
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리도 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
그래서
깨어라.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 두드려 패.
Yeah, I keep keeps still coming from the poison. They're just getting free hits.
그 오늘을 떼어내주지.
Oh my gosh, that was a one shot.
알겠어. 관리자님은 당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고 제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 저는 언제나 옳은 말만 한답니다. 개체에게 일격을 가하는데
직접
성공했습니다.
알게 합니다.
샴페인을 가져오기엔 너무
I
일찍
guess the
타이밍이
evening US?
했지만
啊，对，现在
이
是
전투가
11
성공적으로
点，
끝나면
快到11点。
모두의 희생을
是多的到
를 드는
因为我
것도
明天也会来。
있죠.
I'm also going to be streaming tomorrow. I'll probably be playing Marvel though at that point. Not gonna lie.
그 오늘 다 죽어라. 다 죽어라.
Yeah, these matches go by really quick.
당연한 결과죠. 저는
Next
선택받았으니까.
car. Wait, how many cars
그렇겠죠?
are there? Actually, we're kind of close to the end. We're just kind of plowing through the cars. And we're almost at the end. We're like 2/3 of the way through. Plus, there's definitely more fighting and less talking here. I feel like reading takes the most time out of these.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요. 보시다시피 앞에 무방비에 진
정화!
개체가 있네요.
I like how you can look around and see no effect too.
이 틈을 놓친다면 관리자님의 역량에 대한 계산을 재검토해야 할지 모르겠군요.
Oh, she lost one. No way.
그래. 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까.
정화.
아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만
내가 알아서
그래서 오지고.
처리.
속에서
좋아. 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
직접 알게 합니다. 맞는
Oh
거야.
shoot, did I mess that up?
속에서
I gripped. Ooh, actually, this might be a big one.
그 오늘을 떼어내주지.
Ah,
이런 건
no.
몽둥이가 약이지. 두드려 패.
Okay, that was a one shot almost.
그래.
They had to get a whole new team. It only turned out to be
놈이
3.
이기는 거라니까.
That's so funny.
생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 공격이 더 매서워지거든. 그 오늘을
알겠어. 내 죄는 내가 알아서 처리.
We got all of them in like 3 turns. That's pretty great.
끝인가? 정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면 어째서
Prosthetic fixers.
슈트가
I'm guessing this is like the next part? Oh, no.
어서 할 수 있는
Wait, the
건다
fixers are here
해봐.
too.
저거다 한 주먹거리도 안
Huh?
되는 거니까.
Okay, we actually can't.
불길 속으로.
이런 건
They're
몽둥이가
charge
해야지.
users,
두드려 패.
right? Because there's multi-craft. Do you have any predictions for Canto 7 so far? I mean, like, I don't know much about it yet.
전투에
I would say, like, I'm really looking forward to it. I heard the song that Millie sang for it already, so I'm pretty excited about it. But in terms of predictions for it, it's about Don Quixote's story, right? I've seen a lot of scenes and clips from it, though. And it looks really good. I don't want to, like, think about it too hard, because I don't like predicting things, you know? I like letting the story play out and being pleasantly surprised when things happen. Trying to, like, pick into foreshadowing and stuff, I feel like it's too... It's not fun. I like to let myself be surprised, because if I think too hard about it, it'll just be like, who am I doing that for, you know? I like to enjoy the ride.
쉽게 하지 않아요.
This is just the Intervallo before it. I feel like I need to play the actual warp train from,
광을 내볼 차례겠지.
we gotta do Limbus, or Library of Runa at some point, because I haven't finished that one yet.
그래.
직접
결국 마지막까지
알고
서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까.
Oh, that was kind of a waste.
아픈 거 생각하지 말고 이 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 공격이 더 매서워지거든. 왜 안에 갇혀 죽어라. 그 오늘의 직접 발견.
This sequence right here takes so long. Not as long as the old Yi saying, like, the one ego he has. Although I kind of like that one. I kind of wish I still got it. Get it.
그렇다고 비스킷을 꺼내
I'm
먹고
gonna get it next
싸우는
time.
얘기는 아니었는데.
When the... Wait, did I miss the last Walpurgis? Oh wait, no! The last Walpurgis did happen, but I think I didn't play it because it was just... I was too busy at the time, and also the IDs were kind of like, eh.
부족해 차려졌지 않아.
비명을 질러라. 직접 밝혀주마.
맞는 거야.
Yeah, that was me. Hi Han. 是的，现在是10点半. Something caught the attention of Corona for brutal combat. We're on the final cart adjacent to the freight cart when we discovered an odd box with a T-Corp logo on it. It appears that the wall covering it was, in the fierceness of our battle, broken. Didn't that chief executive guy Hubert, right? Didn't he offhandedly mention something about partnering with other wings? I guess they were in cahoots with W Corp too. Such collaborations are not limited to T Corp. It is often the cases that wings might work with one another. It is only on rare occasions that they urgently request the assistance of less significant and lesser known corporations, such as our Limbus company. The choice appears to be quite irregular. Sounds like W Corp's heydays are long behind them. Just like this wall's falling apart, revealing what's behind. Speaking of falling apart, this room sure got messed up, huh? It's difficult for me to ignore Rhodia hurriedly swerved to other subjects as though she'd made a mistake. Even the tone of her voice shifted like she was catching herself. The various destroyed prosthetic parts covered in human remains indicate that this train's car was boarded with several prosthetic-equipped fixers. I can't think about that right now. Let's deal with the task at hand first. I believe we read articles stating that certain officers do exclusively hire fixers within prosthetics. Wait, he's one of the ones encountered on the platform. This is the fixer who started venting at us. Yeah, and he says something about going to T-Corp on an expedition and failing. They brought a whole train car full of fixers for this contract? I guess he wasn't exaggerating by calling it an expedition. There are dozens broken and streams about. They must have fought valiantly by replacing their broken arms with backup arms perchance. Quite the strategy. Makes sense, that would explain all these broken prosthetic arms and legs in the car. There were similar cases during the war. Those using prosthetics would simply let their bodies be destroyed in battle because they considered them to be disposable as long as their wallets would permit. Of course, the blatant lack of self-preservation often led them to early graves. Maybe that's true. I see. There are multiple possible interpretations depending on one's perspective. Despite the fact that there is but a single scene, I will remember both of your inputs. Yes, well, good for them. I was rare to see an initial expression from her. I'm physically unharmed, yet... I'm alright. However, I do not enjoy the circumstances which we find ourselves in. It is as though I'm casting nets to nowhere while lost and isolated in a blind sea. I could usually complete these deductions within moments after establishing a few basic cross-references between the accessible information. Her voice was such a whisper for the second part of her sentence that even I could barely hear her what she was saying. I know what you mean. Feeling like you've completely lost obsessively casting net after net over the black ripless sea in desperate hopes that one might pull up something we could eat. No way to tell where we are, no way to tell if there's anything even under that glassy water surface, grasping at straws, you know? The sense I find mired in is not unlike your own. It is like lying on my back in an unseen grave, for the reflection of radiance upon my eyes and the sanguine scent hanging from the tip of my olfactory tells me not of the forging path. It seems that Ishmael and Yisang picked up the first part of her sentence. However, they walked up to her to share a few words of consolation. By the way, I don't ever recall you talking like that, Faust. I don't know what it is, but it feels like there's something different about you today. I don't hate it. I'm actually glad you learned that you had a softer side. This unseen side of yours is unfamiliar, yet quite fresh. Is that so? Perhaps we were on the 11th car at that moment. That leaves a single car between us and the freight car. Which means that the blood fiend responsible is aboard this train, just beyond that door. Although this is not common knowledge, there's a subcategory of fixers called blood fiend hunters who specialize in hunting blood fiends. The sinners then exchange various opinions with one another, possible strategies. Oh, Don Quixote, God. Ishmael and Yiseng are so sweet. I feel like they're pretty rational. I like all the sinners, except for Donkey. Donkey's kind of annoying. Like, she's doing the annoying thing right now. What is this bloody scabbard? Oh, is this a dungeon? No, I need a thing for this.
목적지는 호기만소.
Okay, well, here we go. This room. Oh. He must be the blood fiend who caused this outbreak. Who the hell is making those demands? I shall impart this on one to listen well. You may address me as Prince Cassetti, the sixth kindred, or a kindred of the sixth generation, the rightful prince and refuge from his family. Yeah, I'm feeling generous, so I'm quite sated at the moment. As thou must have seen on thy journey here, this place is a hall banquet for a feast most majestic. No matter how many blood bags I create, no matter how much I devoured them, the humans just won't stop coming. I only enjoy what was cast into my maw. He dons a mask in the purpose of merrymaking. If we're really going to exchange pleasantries, why don't you take that mask off? Or are you unfamiliar with basic etiquette? Oh, this mask. Won't come off. Can't take it off. Shouldn't take it off. There's no prince without the mask. We're so ugly behind the mask. So we all decided to hide how repulsive we've become. But once I've drunk your blood full, they'll go back to how it used to be. Only then can I unmask myself. Ooh, who stitched that mask on your face skin? Not a half bad job. Of course it's excellent, because this mask was crafted by none other than the great and omniscient barber, whose name I dare not even speak of. But it hurts so much. No, I'm smiling. Look how hard I'm smiling, laughing. Yes, I'm the prince. That's what I am. He's a bloody loon in it. Alright, done with the giggles? Then get ready for the beating of your life. Don't cry, bawling and boiling, sniveling on the ground for your lives. Lunge at me instead. The aggression of boiling blood. How I love the fire. There's 13 of us and one of you. Don't let your guard down. I let my guard down, but we blasted through so many blood bags we couldn't even count, could we? Couldn't even count. Oh no, the count is so important. I have to keep count of our visitors. Oh yes, I do remember to keep count of our dearest visitor. Yes, sir, I do. You have no idea how powerful I am. I shall now relinquish my throne to thee. All I have to do is sit here and do nothing, and the blood bags present themselves before me. There's no paradise like this out there. You have no idea what I did to create this place. Oh, how elated my forebear kindreds would be, should they be here to witness what I have created. The cornucopia of abundance, this pleasure, oh, this freedom, this kingdom is mine. I made it. I'm not giving it away. Nope. This bluffing leaves his car on only rare occasions. Yet we have not seen signs of insidious influence throughout every car we have visited so far. Then what he meant by how the bloodbags present themselves before him must be... Hold on a minute! Oh, Sasha! It was Sasha. Ah, you're assisting us. Blood fiends. What if there were more than a single blood fiend on board, one still capable of rational thought? Damn, you actually made it all the way back here. I guess the wings to give on contracts to just anyone. I used to fight my damnedest too. Thought I was the last one standing. But where did that leave me? In the end, I stood alone with nothing but a single one of these 4 arms left. Kind of funny how the perspective on life can just completely flip when you're really in... I think my last thoughts were, man, I don't want to die. So I fell on my knees and pleaded. I told him that I'd do anything to live. Sasha... Blood rapidly crystallized around Sasha like a suit of armor as she swung her great swords at the sinners. What? What did I say? I commanded you to give me a warning before jumping in like that. Don't you know how loud your stupid arms are? I thought the family had come for me. Allow me to introduce my kindred to thee, to be the first of many since my escape, for the kingdom I intend to build. My kindred, my loyal squire who shall be at my side as I build a dynasty of my own, my family. Lord Casseti, I intend to select the more powerful of the bunch to send to this car, as you have commanded. But the humans in my cars were all weaklings, so I present before you this group from the first car. Kindred. Are you even aware of the exact nature of a kindred? Nah, but I can tell you this. When I accepted my lord's blood into my veins, it was as though as I was reborn. A blood fiend's kindred is like a sub-entity of a blood fiend, similar in concept to sub-entities created by sorcerous abnormalities. It must have been desperation that drove you to accept that proposal without hesitation, despite the lack of relevant information. Maybe. That's probably what was going through the head before I became kindred. Thou hast been concused with the villain all this time, as his lackey? Even where I first laid eyes upon thee? You have no idea how much I freaked out when you asked me something about red eyes. Not that it would have mattered if you suspected me, though, since my red eyes is just a prosthetic. They're the passengers who were under thy protection. The longer the line, the better. Oh. My mind immediately snapped back to the child grabbed by Don Quixote's coattails. I knew the moment passengers were dead, the moment we realized Sasha was a blood fiend. But this really hoped that I wouldn't have to face this reality. Not like this. There was a child. Yep, the little runt wanted to be a fixer when she grew up. Good thing she won't, though. I can tell you on good authority that living as a blood bag is way better than drudgery, the life of a fixer. That's crazy! Hold thy vile tongue. You're becoming a famous, respected fixer and an actor of justice. It's all just a stupid pipe dream that always ends in crushing disappointment. Or a really early grave. Oh my god! Even the Intervallo is quite good.
대부분 분야에서 저는 최고의 성능을 내는 AI지만 응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다. 공감의 영역은 잘 쓰지 않았던 기능이라 일단
Alright, we're
먼지를
starting to
털어내야
clash now.
하거든요.
What is this? Nothing.
직접 알게 함이라.
Wow. I like it when they're like especially brutal. It's not enough to crush their bodies. You gotta crush their hope and dreams too. Bonus points. Ah, you kinda used that too early, but that's okay.
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 좀 광을 내볼
내가 알아서
차례겠지.
처리한다.
주라니야. 죽도록 달릴 시간이다.
Oh. Actually, I would do this one.
불길 속으로.
Should I be reading them?
맞는 거야.
비명을 질러라.
훌륭한 제압 성과를 낸 직원이 있군요. 효율적인 결과를 위해서 이쯤에서 관리자님이 칭찬의 말을
Oh,
건네줘도
the
좋을 것
fixers are
같네요.
coming in.
물론
Supercharge at?
진심까지
No, it's
담길
not.
필요는 없습니다.
Cool. This bleed. How many stacks does she at?
불길
It's
속으로
okay.
이런 건
깨달았나?
몽둥이가 약이지. 그대로 두드려 패.
Oh, that's the multi-crack. Oh. Did I
가서
do
할 수
that?
있는 건 다 해보고 오라고.
Oh, they're all targeting her?
주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
10-6 of lose. Next 4 times? Okay. Bloodthirsty. Man, how am I supposed to deal with that then? Is she gonna win a bunch of coin tosses? If we can kill that guy first. Oh, this is counter.
대가리 딱 떼고.
Okay. Oh, nice. We got her to panic. Yeah, this makes sense actually. For once.
내 죄는 내가 알아서 처리한다.
와 함께. 지금 좀 똑똑했다.
맞는 거야.
쪽에서 싸울 때도 두뇌파로 적을 다 밀어버려.
Arg. Unbelievable. My first kindred to be created without their authorization. Is this bumbling fool? I pray for forgiveness, my parent. Be gone from my sight. At least thou hast bought me blood bags for sustenance. Yeah, it must be the responsibility of a parent to clean up the mess of his child. With that, Casetti reached out toward the pile of blood bags on the ground and... Whoa. Ha, oh what abundance. I'd nearly forgotten this sensation. An armor of hardened blood materialized over the blood fiend's body. His sheer aggression and hatred was palpable enough to make our skin crawl. Though my blood is yet to fully return. This magnificent armor is quite befitting of paradise for the prince who hath become a king, wouldn't you agree? Challenge me now, rebels. Challenge thy king. Oh my god. Oh, okay, he's not that strong. I think this should be okay. I don't have any bleed on me, so I'm okay. I'm assuming if you lose a clash, it's like kind of cooked with this guy. You can't bleed. Good afternoon, hi Wei Ying! 情人节快乐! Happy Valentine's Day. The blood armor is so cool. I love this design. I was actually looking for a new outfit design. I haven't seen anything crazy that I wanted yet.
개체로부터 기이한 태세가
What is this,
보이는군요.
unclashable?
아마 예상 가능하고도 뻔한 수십
Does
가지의
not
범위 중
stagger this turn.
하나겠지만
Ends after
대비를
using his skill.
해놓으시는 편이 좋을 듯하네요.
Can I stagger him?
불길 속으로.
He's gonna go first. Oh my god.
아니, 아직은 너희가 잘 시간이 되진 않았어. 주인님이 잠에
Oh
들지도
god, we have to do this
않으셨는데
all again.
우리가 먼저 눈을 감아선 안 되잖아.
I think it's not that big a deal.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
I think I fluid sack here.
직접 알게 함이라.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
좋아. 적들이 싫어하는 음식이 뭐였는지
Just healing my team a
정확히
little bit.
파악했네.
왜 안에 갇혀 죽어라.
저기 범상치 않은 공격을 해오려는 모양인데
Panic
다들
bloodthirsty.
차원 가방 열 준비하고 대비해.
How do I avoid this? Use new pattern when store blood reaches 0 for the first time. Okay, so he already did that. What is this? Clutch purpose 5 bleed on the target. He doesn't have that many. I think it's fine because it doesn't look like it's gonna go through.
불길 속으로.
Yeah, I'm rolling so high on him right now. He's negative 45. Ain't no way. What's the game? It's called Prison. In Chinese, it's called like Prison Bus Company. It's called Limbus Company in English. He should have like 6 nails on him. Ooh! He rolled heads that time. I think he had to roll the tails the second time.
앞에 무방비해진 개체가 있네요.
Is this serious, Skullbuster? Oh, it is! This is gonna be
이
big.
틈을 놓친다면
We got like 2 big
관리자님의
moves.
역량에 대한 계산을
At least one big
재검토해야
nuke.
할지도 모르겠군요.
Yeah, I think this is over for him.
깨달았나?
Oh, he just died before that. No! Serious Skullbuster was gonna do like 400 damage in one turn. It hurts! Yes, I love boiling human blood, but this is too painful. This guy keeps regenerating, no matter how many times I turn to pieces. The strange environment of war trains was proving to be a significant help to the regenerative ability. The battle continued much longer than our scuffles at K-Corp, Porter Checkpoint. Don Quixote continued to wildly pummel the blood fiend with her lance, breaking, stabbing, and crushing every time part body was regenerated. The hunger is no justification for this massacre. You don't know how awful it is to survive for 200 years on that disgusting, horrible. No, I don't want to think about it. I just have to have a sip. Just the smallest sip, please. Doesn't matter how many times you stop me. He's regenerating at an insane rate. I've given thee new life, invited thee to banquet, so do the responsibilities. What can I do? Find their weakness, break their anchor, make them kneel. Wait, I think I have an idea. Just as prosthetic figures slowly lose their sense of self-preservation, the limbs becoming no important part of the tools to be replaced. These idiots act with such abandon, as if they have multiple lives to burn through. With nothing to protect, they throw themselves wildly into battle like monsters of flame. With one of her remaining arms, Sasha picked up the master keycard Faust has shown her. Don Quixote, stop her now! Ishmael and Rousseau, who had been holding Cassetti down, were no match for her strength without Don Quixote's fury. This is the key to the first-class cards. My lord, with this, grow your army of blood bags to bring glory to the kingdom. Without that keycard, we'll be trapped inside the train for 1,000 years. I believe that I have tried my utmost to overcome this adversity. Without access to Faust's knowledge and intelligence, however, without loss of the master keycard, the uncertainty of the circumstances greatly exacerbated. From what I can tell, Faust has always been operating based on information she received from Faust. So a situation like this, where she has to make decisions on her own, has to be unfamiliar to her. Stable gave us good directions to follow after analyzing the information. Maybe uncertainty itself doesn't always have to be a problem for us. Remember? This lack of a plan becomes the plan. You said it yourself. Our loss of the master keycard is but one innumerable certain variables in the equation. The constant, however, is that the Blood Fiend is just as desperate as we are. Thus, the option that remains at present is to compromise. You there. Looks like thou art the one who's been regenerating your friends. Stop doing that, alright? Don't heal a single one of them. I'll smash your keycard to pieces. I didn't have the time, and the rest of the sinners were unconscious. The only sinner who could still move and talk normally was Faust, who I just rewound the clock for. Very well then, Cassetti. Why don't we move this conversation to a different location? Only I will accompany Dante to this negotiation. I will make my intentions clear now. Dante and I will not attack you there. Just you two, huh? The fright card is immediately adjacent to this card. That is where we will further discuss what we have to offer one another. Very well, this will be a royal debate then. It is only right for royalty to talk to no one else but the other one who is his equal. We'll be back in a minute. So Faust, were we doing this fright card again? This will be my first attempt. I didn't gamble. What?
끝인가? 정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면
Let's see how far we can get before 11.
분노가
So this passageway leads straight into Mephistopheles. This is where it all started. This stupid bus awoke me from my slumber. If only this bus hadn't completely filled up the freight car. I wasn't planning to start the parade so soon or create a kindred here. The connection has been restored. Oh. Forty Mephistopheles. Did you know that this would work? No. And as I've stated before, this was a pure incalculable gamble based on my own uncertain hypothesis. The success helps me somewhat comprehend Miss Rhodia's fascination with gambling. Now the connection has been reestablished, I would like to make a complaint against the Faust and the Gestalt management regarding the fact that they neglected to list the information pertaining to the loss of connection with the interiors of the warp train. However, finding a solution to the solution takes precedence. I have much reason to believe that their omission was done on purpose, but I hope that is not the case. Let's discuss the details of our compromise. What are you willing to accept in return for the master keycard? If thou were just anyone, I would just wish to return all these blood bags and drink every last drop of their blood, but thou art unlike a common person. My wish is to maintain the secrecy of this kingdom of mine for as long as possible, and thine wish is to leave this place, right? Once I relinquish thee this keycard, and once thou returns to your first-class seats, we'll all live here happily ever after, like nothing happened. And when the train gets there, you get off the train, everything goes back to the way they're supposed to be. How's that for a deal? Like nothing happened. Our memories and any single signs of battle will entirely erased upon our arrival. We'll have no way to relay our news, whether one was success or failure. If we had the means to defeat him, then at least W Corp would inform us that our contract was successful after the fact. However, this current scenario will leave us with nothing to show for. Not even the smallest hint, and the contract will end in failure. However, what takes precedence over the contract is you, the sinner's psychological stability. What about the passengers of the train and its future passengers? I remember the look on Don Quixote's face whenever we would come across these inevitable forms of injustice. Faust does not reply. Yet the lack of reply was a reply on its own. Are we going to have to let them die? Innocent lives will be lost, but we cannot prioritize their lives over our safety. That must be Faust in the company's policy. And yet... Oh, no. I will not tolerate this. We cannot let this vile wretch live and turn a blind eye to everything he's done. I know the truth. Everything hinges on this key, doesn't it? You'll have to spend eons. I do not care. I will welcome the eons, should it be one eons of penance for thee. Thus much preferable for letting any thy villainy go unanswered. Oh no. Then I shall fill the millennia with tales of legend I had read in the magazines. Certainly you are aware that your suggestion is no solution at all, Donkey. Is there truly no path which may bring justice to the villain? The commotion we felt noticed that the blood fiend had been quietly advancing at us. We let Donkey go to the last second, but we were a second too late. Oh, my dearest parent, forgive my transgressions, creating another without thy sanction. Thou shalt be my next kindred. Oh. I did not expect this to be the solution. According to this information I have viewed in the past, and once again just now, it's Dante, take cover behind me and stay absolutely still. And please do note that the other sinners must never hear a word about what is to happen. Wait! Is Don Quixote going to become a blood fiend? Hey Mexican for everyone, welcome in. It's called Limbus Company. Am I in the right category of game even? Sometimes it messes up. She locks on bewilderment as her running shoes on the floor. Why are you always so protective of those running shoes? I've battled through thick and thin, feast and famine with my dear, in sorrow and in joy. No matter how the brutality of the trials that have struck me, it had been loyal steed by my side for however long it's been in existence. Whereas thou not saluted as well, this would be a rather auspicious occasion to do so. It's stinky! I did not mention that the question was inspired by numerous eyewitness reports from other sinners who saw our wine in the halls and wearing Sinte. Rocinante and I remained bound together, even in slumber. There shall be no separating the two of us. We are not bound by need or want. We are simply bound together through plight and delight. Now that I think about it, every single identity of Don Quixote was also wearing those pair of running shoes. Have you ever taken them off? Take them off? Fee, whatever dost thou mean? This is a very odd instruction to make. She looks at me with puzzled eyes, as though the pairing running shoes was somehow an inconceivable idea. They were something much more than just her favorite pair of running shoes. Her odd attitude of treating something far more removed from common sense, as something completely ordinary. What does Rocinante mean to Don Quixote? What even is that thing? No moment powerful pressure suddenly explodes, raining in all directions. Then, darkness. In all absorbing darkness, voices are only in sight. Oh! You are the second kindred. How did you? I should have felt your presence. I do think I saw a faint outline of an aura. I see a red aura and a long fur adornment of sorts. Through the shimmering aura, I think I saw red eyes. You have committed the sin of filial impiety, transgressor. I know that voice, but I don't. I've never seen it in such a low, imposing tone before. It speaks towards the lesser being. The blood fiend, shriveled and kneeling, trembling in panic. Mercy, O venerated ancestor. I beg for mercy of the second kindred. I beg for mercy of the second kindred. Insolent word. Crimson drops of blood slowly rise around the blood fiend's mouth before congealing and sealing his mouth shut. No language worming its way out of your mouth shall be worthy of my ears. To commit the sin of filial impiety by attempting to travel against the bloodstream, to commit such abominations against your ancestor, I cannot well sanction your impudence to continue existence. Coagulate and then melt away. Don Quixote was already a blood fiend? You. Don Quixote looked back to me, who was still on the ground after being thrown by the shockwave, and with a cryptic look of pity, she uttered something. Indeed, you must be the promised master timepiece. Something I couldn't quite understand. Rocinante, to me. I beseech you. I carefully reached out, grabbed her shoes, and then slipped them onto her bare feet. Ah, one day. So when Don Quixote takes off her shoes, she becomes crazy? She becomes a blood fiend? It looks like I'm almost done. Did he read like this all night? Yeah. My mouth is kind of dry. It looks like I'm like at the very end. So let me just see if I can finish this really quick. Sometime later. Can somebody explain what just happened in a way that makes sense? All that remained was the destroyed door to the freight car and disgusting obliterated remains of Ulrich Cassetti. Most personnel had lost their consciousness from the mental stress of a prolonged battle against the Blood Fiend. Whatever measure it was that the manager has taken, it can be said that it was appropriate. I guess so. Good work, everyone. However, the definition of most personnel excludes 3 individuals. Therefore, it was the most appropriate to direct any questions at them. Who are those 3? Faust, the manager, and Don Quixote, who is still unconscious. You were spot on. When did you have the time to notice that? Oh boy. I've identified the 3 unconscious individuals by analyzing their walking cadences and voices. Moments before I lost consciousness. Right, so what's going on with this last? Why is she still out cold? She appears to be in a state of deep slumber. As she is not at the risk of death, she'll be waking up soon. She practically erased the Blood Fiend and his kindred from the world without even moving a finger. But I also remember Faust's last words. And please do not note that other sinners must never hear a word about what is to happen. Don Quixote was unconscious, and Faust was answering every question with silence. It was only natural that their eyes would all follow me. Wait, that reminds me. Where's the keycard? It was in Cassetti's hands, who was in a far more presentable state than he was before. Wait, so what about the keycard he was holding, though? It has been half liquefied. The remains have melded with his finger bones. It appears to have become one with the middle phalanges. Calm down! The master keycard is not an absolute necessary element to resolving the situation. It will require approximately 5 hours to formulate and proceed with the explanation in a manner that will allow the sinners to fully comprehend exactly how this methodology. Therefore, it will be delivered to you in a digestible, summarized format. We can utilize the back door of Mephistopheles. So we headed over to the back door and arrived at our destination. I cannot ask what happened after seeing the state that you're all in. Grains of sand and seashell-like things fell on the floor every step the sinners took. To explicate it, then, grains of sand rolled about my throat every word spoken. Some time ago, Faust explained that the simpler gist of the plan was as we made our way to the back door. To put it simply, we will spend the time at a space disconnected from the train. The train should be arriving at the destination in approximately 10 seconds, going by the A-Corp timescale. All we must do is remain somewhere in our original dimension for that duration. And with that, Faust came to a sudden stop in the middle of the corridors. Are you seriously just going to open that door? With this many doors in here, are you sure that's the right one? Yes, this is the correct door. Its safety is completely insured. I did not bother verifying that particular information myself. It's necessary for future endeavors that I gain the experience of encouraging something completely unexpected. Oh well. Faust did not wait for Heathcliff to finish his sentence before jerking the door wide open. Now, please enter through this door. I think we walked into the middle of a sandstorm. Until we... Faust counted in the rhythm, and we went back in. As the train was getting cleaned up, that is, and with our bodies completely covered in sand. Ah, I thought we'd never make it. Are you guys okay? How did these passengers... We're so happy to be done with this whole drill that even the W Corps cleanup agents in the middle of a cleanup mission looked downright hospitable. We're employees of Linda's company. We boarded the warp train at the behest of your employer. Oh, so you guys are the people our captain told us about. They really let you guys in keep your memories, huh? That reminds me, one of the employees must be sleeping inside the hibernation pod over there. Oh, that, huh? I've never seen it in action before. Let me go check. Inside, I went, oh, there's no one in there. This is the correct spot. The disappearance of the individual who has entered the pod would indicate. I guess these folks aren't all there in the head either. Maybe you guys are just mistaken? We all suffer from momentary collective hallucination caused by fatigue. Very well then, we will see ourselves out. Now that I've become intimately familiar with the meaning of that gesture, I followed her to the outside with another word. Rocinante is a seal of sorts, her blood fiend design. Her swag was unmatched. She looks so cool! I can't wait to see her in Canto 7. I see. I will hear the details of the incident on the bus once we're traveling again. Understood. Any and all relevant reports will be sent to W Corp via LCCA, and Virgilius was already there when we arrived. He was sharing a conversation with Faust about what went down inside the train with a serious expression. I will now leave with Charon and watch them unfasten Mephistopheles from the train. The minute hand on the manager's head seemed to be desperately signaling me that they have a lot of burning questions to ask. Allow me to give you two some space. I was finally able to speak to Faust. Why did you do that? Because it was the preferable course of action to having the same explosive demise occur to your body instead. I do find it regrettable that you were made to turn the clock despite my knowledge of the high likelihood of my death upon that occurrence. No, I'm not blaming for you long. I just wanted to know how long you've known that Don Quixote is. That is something I've been aware of since the LCB was first established. The same could be said of Virgilius. However, it was by the will of the LCA superiors that this knowledge remained withheld from the manager until the appropriate moment. According to my private judgment, yes. While as my connections to all communications, including one to Faust, had been severed, I was not in a position to receive the headquarters' authorization for that action. Though the truth may remain obscured until we are once again returned. Returned, that was a layered word. We returned to the warped platforms of our own dimension. We returned to our daily lives of speculating about what's next in our path. And the usual Faust reconnected to Faust has returned. Yes, Faust replied to Yi Seng's nebulous wordings with a quiet affirmation. Please do not take this query without any greater import than mere gesture. However, do you suppose I shall see her again? She shot a puzzled look at Yi Seng. In a way, it was quite the pleasant encounter, no? Phew. It was too soon to start racking our brains about what kind of nonsense trial we were about to face in P-Corp. How do we find ourselves at P-Corp? Where's my throat so parched? I'm too tired to explain. You missed out on one crazy adventure. God, I hate Donkey. Her regular personality is so annoying. What game am I playing? It's called Prisoner Company. Or Olympus Company. I looked up to Faust, who once... to the Faust look at me as well. She nodded at me with her usual barely smiling back in return. Okay. Well, that's the end of the Warp Train Intervallo. That was pretty cool. I'm pretty excited then, because we're about to head into Canto 7, Dream Ending. My god, it's good. I'm going to save these tickets for next time, though. It looks like this still has 4 days on it, so I might do a Mirror Dungeon next time. Or I might just start Canto 7, because it'll give you points for that. And this will give me points for Canto 7 as well. This is only 4 days left, so I gotta kind of get cooking on this one. We'll make one of these. And then we'll collect our... Where's the thing? Here. Alright. And that will do it for today, you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I'm going to be continuing another stream tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to play yet. I might even do more Limbus Company because I'm really excited to start Canto 7. It looks really cool. But I love you guys. This game should be on Steam. It is, yes. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, though. Happy Valentine's Day. If you haven't seen my cover, go check it out right now. It's on my main YT channel. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Mwah! Have a great rest of your night, you guys. Bye-bye! 好，我要去休息了。情人节快乐！我爱你，拜拜，晚安，晚安。
그대 드디어 목적지를 찾은 것이오.